Research shows that 90% of the wintering cormorants in Jinmen forage in the sea. Only a handful of them stay inland to fish in lakes and ponds. These birds fish in small groups, herding the fish into a corner of the pond before diving into the water to feed on them. A cormorant with a fish in its mouth is often a tempting target for the other birds. The successful bird adjusts the angle of its catch rapidly and swallows it. This goes to show the cooperative yet competitive behavior of the birds. Sometimes the cormorant forages on its own. A lone cormorant usually feeds in fresh waters inland. The cormorant's amazing ability to fish is no secret. For thousands of years, the people in Yunnan, Guangdong, Guangxi, and Hunan areas have been known to rear cormorants and train them to fish. The locals call the cormorants fish eagles. Fish are a major source of food to many other species of birds in Jinmen as well. Fishing tactics and physical forms differ. Herons and egrets are tall with long necks. They like to poke around the pond or along the banks searching for fish. The black stork is highly efficient as well. It uses its bill to chase fish out of their hiding places and then proceeds to capture its prey. The great crested grebe employs fishing techniques that are similar to the cormorant. They pursue their prey underwater. The osprey is a bird of prey of considerable size. Its strong claws and great speed enable it to capture fish close to the surface of the water. These birds may vary in physical forms and fishing techniques, but together they represent a vital link, the link between the resources of a habitat and survival. Unlike most diving water birds, cormorants spend very little time in water. They choose to rest on land rather than in water. After their meals, cormorants will fly to a quiet sandbank or to trees to take a rest and spread their wings. Wing spreading is a unique trait of the cormorant. They can maintain the wing spread position for long periods of time. They do this to dry their wings or to regulate their body temperature. Some studies show that spreading wings could be a sign of successful fishing. As the evening draws close, the cormorants conduct their second round of group feeding. They congregate above the water like a vast net, taking turns to dive and feed. This would be their final meal before they return to roost. Returning with full stomachs, they stop by the sandbanks and inland waters briefly before trooping back to the night roost. Their flights take on various formations as they fly, numbering in dozens, sometimes hundreds. Waves after waves of cormorants return. When the cormorants come back to roost, they are always against the winds. So the birds cruise to the rhythm of the winds, changing formations as they fly. They flap their wings or glide accordingly. There is coordination in the seemingly ever-changing dance. When it gets windy, the cormorants who have returned from their feeding ventures gather on the lake for a few leisurely moments. The birds play out numerous roles in the changing lights of the sky and altering weather. By mid-February, whilst the cold winter gales still carry on, the cormorants discreetly don their breeding plumage. White silky feathers appear on the bird's head and neck. The white patches on the thighs slowly emerge, and the plumage on the whole turns glossy metallic. The cormorant is getting ready for its breeding season in spring. Both the gradually warming climate and breeding instinct trigger the urge to return to the north. By March, the cormorants start to leave their wintering grounds in batches, and the numbers in Jinmen dwindle. This may be an indication that the wintering populations in Jinmen are from different breeding grounds. Cormorants are by nature cautious birds. They select small deserted islands, cliffs, or wetland vegetation as breeding grounds. These locations offer minimal intrusion from both humans and predators. During mating, the cormorants engage in a series of displays to attract their mates. A displaying bird will stand in a conspicuous spot, raising and lowering its wings to expose the white patches on its thighs. It will also throw its head backwards and forwards, accompanied by low guttural sounds. A willing male will hop around its intended mate, putting up its crown feathers as well. A female will spread its tail feathers to acknowledge its willingness to mate. Mating may seem easy, but it is actually quite a feat to accomplish.